America's skies are about to change forever with the revolutionary Boeing F-47, our latest stealth fighter. Combining cutting-edge design with unmatched speed and agility, this aircraft redefines modern warfare. In this video, we'll dive into the secrets of its stealth technology, innovative engineering, and the game-changing impact it promises for America's defense. Buckle up and join us as we explore America's new stealth fighter, the Boeing F-47. On Friday, March 21, 2025, a groundbreaking announcement was made in the Oval Office that will forever alter the landscape of U.S. air power. President Donald Trump, alongside Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and Air Force Chief of Staff General David Allvin, personally declared Boeing the winner of the Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) fighter initiative. This historic moment, delivered in one of America's most iconic settings, underscored the nation's commitment to advancing its tactical air capabilities and set the stage for a bold leap into the future of aerial combat. President Trump revealed that an experimental version of the F-47 has been secretly soaring through the skies for nearly 5 years. According to him, this aircraft is far beyond anything any other nation has ever built. "There's no competition," he declared. "I've seen every other jet out there, and nothing even comes close. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a whole new level. You know, level 5 is good," he said, "but this is level 6. The F-47 is armed with cutting-edge stealth technology, making it virtually invisible to enemy detection. It possesses unparalleled power, setting a new benchmark for fighter jets. It's the most powerful aircraft of its kind ever created," Trump stated. "And its maneuverability? Unmatched, nothing like it has ever existed before. Speed is another jaw-dropping feature. It's faster than anything people are used to, over Mach 2, he added. "That's something you don't hear very often." Beyond its speed and power, the true purpose of the F-47 is to maintain America's dominance in the skies. According to Trump, America's enemies will never see it coming, and if the aircraft is ever needed in combat, adversaries will have no chance to react. However, he expressed hope that it would never have to be used for such purposes. A new fleet of these groundbreaking jets is set to be built and deployed under his administration within the next few years. He assured that production is already well underway, with factories and facilities prepared. His vision is to ensure that the United States continues to lead the world in air superiority. At the core of this monumental development is Boeing's revolutionary 6th-generation stealth fighter, now designated the F-47. This aircraft is far more than just an upgraded jet. It represents a complete transformation in the way air combat will be conducted. With its state-of-the-art stealth features, incredible speed, and unmatched maneuverability, the F-47 is engineered to counter emerging threats and redefine the very nature of modern warfare. The U.S. Air Force plans to begin fielding this game-changing fighter within the next decade, highlighting an urgent need to maintain technological superiority in an increasingly unpredictable world. The NGAD initiative is designed to develop a next-generation fighter platform that can operate with other advanced systems. Born from the need to outpace global threats, the program integrates innovative technologies into an adaptable combat jet. Previously shrouded in uncertainty over costs and strategic relevance, the renewed commitment from this announcement has breathed new life into the initiative, paving the way for a future where American air power leads global defense. While the announcement itself is a major milestone, it is equally important to consider the long and storied competition that has brought us to this point. The race to create the ultimate fighter jet has long been a contest between two of America's most storied defense contractors, Boeing and Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, with its celebrated F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II, has been a dominant force in military aviation for decades. Their designs have set high standards in stealth, agility, and technological innovation, becoming symbols of American prowess in the skies. However, this rivalry is steeped in a rich historical context that dates back to the Cold War era. During those tense years, the need for air superiority drove both companies to push the limits of engineering and design. Every new aircraft was a critical piece in the puzzle of national security, and competition was fierce as both firms sought to secure America's strategic interests. The innovations born from this rivalry led to rapid advancements in technology, From cutting-edge stealth materials to sophisticated flight control systems, all of which have shaped the modern fighter jets we see today. Despite Lockheed Martin's illustrious history and its impressive portfolio of advanced aircraft, Boeing's recent triumph in the NGAD fighter initiative signals a potential shift in the balance of power within the defense industry. Boeing's approach with the F-47 leverages decades of aviation experience and a fresh perspective on the challenges of modern warfare. Their success is a testament to the company's relentless drive to innovate and redefine what is possible in military aviation. This victory is not merely about winning a contract. It represents a bold statement that Boeing is ready to lead the next generation of fighter jets into an era where agility, stealth, and speed are paramount. On the day the F-47 was announced, the world of military aviation was buzzing with excitement and curiosity about what this new stealth fighter would look like. Although we have only 2 image renders from the Air Force, they already tell us a lot about this mysterious aircraft. One image shows a plane with a very distinct chine starting right from the nose, a sharp, angular line that gives the jet an aggressive, futuristic look. The other image is more artistic, with much of the aircraft hidden in swirling clouds and vapor, adding an air of mystery to its design. One of the more striking details in the clear render is the suggestion of canards. These small, wing-like structures, which appear to have a high dihedral angle, could help improve the plane's maneuverability and overall stealth. The fact that the other render doesn't show these canards might be due to artistic license or simply a different angle that hides certain features. However, both images agree on one unusual characteristic. The wings seem to share the same high dihedral angle. This design choice is not common among fighters and is likely a deliberate measure to enhance stealth capabilities. Many modern jets like the F-22 and F-35, and even some Chinese fighters like the J-20 and J-36, have a radar signal trap when the wing meets the lower fuselage. In contrast, the F-47 appears to avoid this pitfall by presenting a single diamond-like cross-section when viewed from below or the sides. This streamlined design could be a game-changer, offering a significant advantage in evading radar detection. When we compare this new fighter to other iconic aircraft, a few interesting points come to light. For instance, Boeing's bird of prey demonstrator from the 1990s comes to mind. That small, experimental plane was famed for its incredibly low radar cross-section. In fact, it was so stealthy that while you could see it with the naked eye, fighter jet radar couldn't track it even from a few miles away. Its radar cross-section was rumored to be around -70 decibels, which is an impressive achievement, especially when you consider that the F-22's is about -40 decibels. Imagine that. The technology behind the bird of prey was already groundbreaking 30 years ago, and now we see echoes of that innovation in the F-47's design. The renders leave some mysteries too, as the rear half of the F-47 is not visible. This means we can only speculate about the design of its tail section, engines, and other key features that lie out of view. However, 2 more details stand out. First, the canopy appears fairly wide compared to the rest of the plane. A wide canopy could be an indication of enhanced pilot visibility and perhaps a more spacious cockpit, which might be designed for advanced avionics or even a dual-crew configuration in future variants. Second, the front landing gear is notably different. It has a single wheel rather than a twin-wheel setup, which is often seen in larger, heavier aircraft like the Chinese J-36 fighter. This detail suggests that the F-47 is not meant to be a massive behemoth with a 50-foot wingspan and weighing 70 tons. Instead, it likely falls in the size range of the F-22 or even a bit smaller, which would make it more agile and responsive in combat. This size and design philosophy could be a key factor in its operational role. A fighter jet that is not overly large can take advantage of increased speed, agility, and potentially lower maintenance costs, all while maintaining a strong stealth profile. In today's fast-changing combat environment, these factors are crucial. The ability to evade enemy radar and respond quickly to threats is at the heart of modern air combat. With the F-47, it seems Boeing is banking on a design that merges the best elements of past innovations with fresh, modern engineering. It's interesting to see how these features compare to those of other advanced fighters. The F-22 and F-35 have long been the benchmarks for stealth and agility in U.S. military aviation. Their designs have been refined over years of development and combat experience. On the other side of the globe, China's J-20 and the lesser-known J-36 have pushed the envelope in their own right, though they sometimes fall prey to design challenges like the radar signal trap mentioned earlier. The F-47, with its unique diamond-like cross-section and potential design refinements such as the canards and wing dihedral, seems poised to take lessons from these aircraft and perhaps even improve upon them. The subtle nod to Boeing's own heritage with the bird of prey is also a reminder of how far technology has come. The lessons learned from experimental aircraft decades ago continue to influence modern designs. It's like watching history repeat itself, only with a futuristic twist. It's easy to get excited about the possibilities of a new fighter jet, and the F-47 is no exception. At first glance, some details seem almost contradictory. For instance, the wide cockpit might make you wonder if the design features side-by-side seating. But then, if that were the case, why would the F-47 have a single-wheel front landing gear? Chances are that seating arrangement isn't in play. This simple observation tells us a lot about the design philosophy behind this new fighter. For many years, the Air Force talked about needing a large and heavy sixth-generation fighter. That was the path taken by China with its J-36, a design built on the idea that a bigger plane would offer more power and range. However, over the past year, hints have emerged suggesting that a smaller F-35 size fighter might be just as effective. The F-47 renders seem to back up this new approach. The fact that the F-47 might be more compact suggests that the Air Force is rethinking its priorities, focusing on agility and efficiency rather than sheer size. General Alvin, the Air Force Chief of Staff, released a statement loaded with praise for the F-47, calling it the most advanced, lethal, and adaptable fighter ever. He added that it is designed to outpace, outmatch, and outmaneuver any adversary. When you hear words like these, it really sets your mind racing with possibilities. Yet some of the phrasing raises interesting questions. Outmaneuver is not a word typically associated with next-generation fighters, which often sacrifice traditional turning ability in favor of stealth and speed. Instead, it might be more accurate to say the F-47 is built for agility. Its ability to rapidly change location and altitude in a split second could be the real game changer. How might this agility be achieved? One possibility is through advanced engines that offer the best of both worlds. Imagine an engine that can operate in turbofan mode for fuel efficiency during long patrols and then switch to turbojet mode when a burst of power is needed for quick maneuvers. This kind of dual-mode operation could give the F-47 an edge over current fighters by allowing it to conserve fuel without compromising on performance during critical moments. Another eyebrow-raising claim from General Alvin is about the fighter's range. He stated that the F-47 will have a significantly longer range than today's fifth-generation fighters. Currently, the F-35 boasts a combat radius of nearly 900 miles for air-to-air missions. How can a fighter that is presumably similar in size or even smaller manage to exceed that range? The answer might lie in engine efficiency. Advanced engines now in development are promising at least a 25% improvement in fuel efficiency over existing models. In addition, the F-35 is built as a multi-role aircraft, designed to carry heavy loads and endure long service lives of up to 40 years. In contrast, the F-47's airframe might be engineered for a shorter lifespan, designed to be replaced or upgraded much more frequently. This approach could allow for rapid technological refreshes, ensuring that the fighter always benefits from the latest innovations. It's fascinating to think about how these design choices reflect a shift in strategy. The Air Force once believed that a larger, more robust fighter was necessary to dominate the skies. But as technology advances, the emphasis seems to be moving toward nimbleness and efficiency. The F-47 might well be a symbol of this new approach. A fighter that is smaller but faster, with advanced engines that let it cover more ground, could change the way air combat is conducted in the future. By rethinking traditional design elements, the F-47 seems to blend lessons from past successes with bold new ideas. The possibility of a wide cockpit might initially hint at side-by-side seating, but the single-wheel front landing gear strongly suggests a different layout. This detail hints at a careful balance between pilot comfort and overall aircraft performance. A wide canopy might still allow for excellent visibility and situational awareness, even if the seating arrangement is more traditional. Such design decisions are likely driven by the need to keep the fighter's size manageable, thereby enhancing its agility. At the same time, this new fighter is positioned against a backdrop of evolving strategic thinking. The earlier vision of a bulky sixth-generation fighter, exemplified by China's J-36, is now being reconsidered in favor of a design more in line with the F-35. This shift reflects a broader trend in military aviation, where the focus is on creating platforms that can be updated more frequently, rather than relying on a single design to carry the burden of air dominance for decades. General Alvin's comments also suggest that the F-47 will be a multifaceted platform. By emphasizing the ability to outpace, outmatch, and outmaneuver, he paints a picture of a fighter that is not only fast but also versatile. The emphasis on rapid changes in location and altitude could indicate a design optimized for dynamic combat environments, where quick decisions and faster responses are critical. The F-47 is not only a leap forward in stealth technology, but also a smart, cost-effective design that promises to change the way we think about fighter jets. One interesting detail is that the F-47 may be built to carry only a few AMR/AAM-sized air-to-air missiles. This might seem like a limitation at first, but there's a clever twist. The Air Force has hinted that each F-47 will fly with more than 5 drones. These drones would serve as the primary missile carriers and shooters. In other words, the fighter jet itself wouldn't need to store a large arsenal of weapons. With the drones doing the heavy lifting in combat, the F-47 can remain lean and agile, reducing its overall weight and enhancing its stealth capabilities. Another interesting aspect is the use of novel construction methods, like metal printing, in building the F-47. This modern manufacturing process, along with other design optimizations, may allow engineers to create extra space for fuel while keeping the plane lighter. The result? A significant boost in range. Early estimates suggest that the F-47 could offer a 25% to even a 50% increase in range compared to today's F-35. Imagine the strategic advantage of a fighter jet that can fly farther, engage the enemy for longer, and still return home safely without refueling too often. Furthermore, there's talk that the F-47 may be designed with just one engine. Fewer engines mean less weight, which could further enhance its range and agility, while also simplifying maintenance. General Alvin has been very positive about the F-47's progress. He mentioned that multiple experimental demonstrators have already flown over the past 5 years. According to him, the F-47 has reached what he called unprecedented maturity. This statement speaks volumes about how much testing and refinement have already gone into the project. It's not just a concept on paper. It's a real, tangible machine that has been proven in flight tests. In fact, General Alvin revealed that a prototype will take to the skies during President Trump's term, by 2028 at the latest. This timeline is remarkable because it is faster than the development timelines for previous fighter jets like the F-35 or the F-22. However, it is important to note that while the prototype may fly soon, additional years will be needed for thorough testing and refinements. The first serial-produced airframes might not join the Air Force inventory until around 2032, with initial operational capability expected to kick in around 2035. One of the most promising aspects of the F-47 is its cost-effectiveness. The Air Force has quoted the F-47 as being cheaper than the F-22. This lower cost is not just about saving money, it means that the service can afford to buy more of these aircraft. With a larger fleet, the overall program cost is spread out over more jets, lowering the price per unit even further. This approach is similar to why the F-35 is currently cheaper than the F-15EX. In previous years, before a smaller-scale option was considered, programs like ANGAD were described as costing hundreds of millions per jet, with only around 200 units being affordable. The move toward a smaller, more cost-effective fighter like the F-47 shows a significant shift in strategy. It suggests that the future of air combat may not require massive, heavily armed air cruisers. but rather more nimble and advanced aircraft that can work in tandem with drone formations and tanker aircraft. This design philosophy indicates that the F-47 is intended to be a manageable aircraft, likely somewhere between the size of the F-35 and the F-22. Despite its relatively smaller size, the F-47 is set to be much more advanced. Its design, combining reduced weight, enhanced fuel capacity, and advanced stealth, makes it a very appealing option for the future of U.S. air power. The ability to launch alongside a swarm of drones means that this fighter jet can be a force multiplier on the battlefield. In modern warfare, where agility and technological integration are key, having a fleet of these smaller, smarter fighters could prove to be a game changer. It's also worth noting that this shift toward a more compact and efficient fighter was not a last-minute decision. The U.S. has been preparing for this transition for quite some time, possibly even before the alleged pause in the NGAD program during the summer of 2024. In fact, Boeing had already been constructing new facilities in anticipation of these future needs. This proactive approach demonstrates a clear commitment to maintaining a technological edge and ensuring that the U.S. military can adapt quickly to changing threats on the global stage. Following the announcement, companies involved in the NGAD fighter competition are speaking out with clear messages about their visions for the future of U.S. air power. Lockheed Martin, the losing bidder, quickly released a statement to TWZ. They said, "Lockheed Martin continues to work to advance critical technologies to outpace emerging threats and deliver true 21st century security solutions to our nation's military forces. We are committed to advancing the state-of-the-art in air dominance to ensure America has the most revolutionary systems to counter the rapidly evolving threat environment. While disappointed with this outcome, we are confident we delivered a competitive solution. We will await further discussions with the U.S. Air Force." That final line hints at a possible protest against the contract award, showing that the battle is far from over. Engine manufacturer General Electric also joined the conversation with a post on X. Their message expressed their gratitude for the administration's leadership and reaffirmed their commitment to keeping U.S. military air superiority strong for decades to come. GE mentioned how excited they were to see the NGAD program move forward and looked forward to the opportunities it could offer to power the fighters of the future. This sentiment follows recent moves where the Air Force increased contract ceilings with both General Electric and Pratt & Whitney to $3.5 billion. Those funds will support further work on prototype next-generation jet engines under the Next Generation Adaptive Propulsion (NGAP) program, a crucial component to power the NGAD fighter. Although the future of the NGAD combat jet is still taking shape, the NGAP program is poised to have a major impact on other advanced aviation projects as well. Boeing, clearly the big winner in this contest, is making headlines for its clean sheet approach to fighter design. John Ostrower, editor-in-chief of the Air Current, pointed out that this is the first time Boeing has secured a contract for a completely new fighter jet built from scratch. In the past, Boeing's successes in the fighter market were tied to designs inherited from McDonnell Douglas, like the F-15, AV-8B, F/A-18, and EA-18. This victory with the F-47 marks a turning point for Boeing, as it shows the company is ready to innovate without relying on past templates. Their approach with the F-47 leverages decades of aviation expertise, combined with a fresh perspective on modern combat needs. The next phase for the F-47 program, as outlined by the Secretary of the Air Force Public Affairs, will kick off the Engineering and Manufacturing Development, or EMD phase. In this stage, Boeing will focus on maturing, integrating, and testing all components of the fighter. A small number of test aircraft will be built for evaluation, and the contract includes options for low-rate initial production. This means that after the rigorous testing phase, there will be room to gradually increase production, ensuring that the new fighter can be fielded effectively once it meets all performance and safety requirements. Steve Parker, Boeing's interim president and chief executive officer of its Defense, Space and Security Division, issued an official statement that summed up the company's excitement and determination. He said, "We recognize the importance of designing, building, and delivering a sixth-generation fighter capability for the United States Air Force. In preparation for this mission, we made the most significant investment in the history of our defense business, and we are ready to provide the most advanced and innovative NGAD aircraft needed to support the mission. Parker's words underline not just a commitment to winning contracts, but a deep belief in the power of innovation to redefine the future of air combat. As these statements roll in, it's clear that the race for air superiority is not just about one contract or one company. It is a complex competition that involves many players, all driven by the same goal: to keep America's skies safe and to ensure that the U.S. military remains on the cutting edge of technology. The NGAD Fighter Initiative is a perfect example of how collaboration, competition, and innovation come together in the world of defense. While Boeing takes the lead with the F-47, the ongoing efforts by Lockheed Martin, GE, Pratt & Whitney, and others are just as critical to shaping the future of air combat. In short, the next steps in the NGAD program are set to bring exciting developments to the forefront of military aviation. With the F-47 entering its EMD phase and vital engine programs moving ahead under NGAP, the stage is set for a dynamic evolution in how the United States defends its airspace. As we watch the F-47 take shape and the future of air combat unfold, one question remains: will Boeing's next-generation fighter truly redefine the skies, or will its rivals find a way to catch up?